didn't think I wanted to do that. Never mind. 2-6, and I'll be right with everyone. I don't know how many I'm going to get on stream tonight. So that's my phone going off as well. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to get on live stream tonight. I want to try and do this more often as part of the having a larger audience now. I can do these live streams. So yeah, anyone wants to give me some questions, any ideas, thoughts, and all that sort of thing. This hopefully now I've got my new tablet. I can do this a bit easier than what I can on the phone. 2 secs. I've just got to message someone back. I've just had hopefully I'm going to have some good quality further info regarding future editing content, and what I'm looking at next is taking a closer look at Darren Nichols, his timeline, what doesn't fit, and also look at anything that can reveal his psychology towards us, from the info that we have got based on Michael Steele's involvement with him, Pat Tate, the inmates when he was on remand with the when he's under witness protection. So we're going to try and look as much as that as we can as possible, and see where his mindset was, and how much his involvement would have been. And let's see. Right, so I'm just texting someone. Done. Right, I'm just going to double check my content this week, because I've got at the moment I've got next week holiday for me main job, so I'm heading up to Scarborough and Whitby now. It was just going to be predominantly Whitby, but unfortunately what I didn't think about was the fact that this is school holidays, so being able to book accommodation in Whitby's, well, the places I wanted to go was a little bit troublesome, so I'm making a slight diversion. I'm going to go Scarborough first, try and stay in some potentially haunted hotels, and then going to move up to Whitby and look at the haunting stories that occurs up there. But as I say, you guys that come online, if you want to ask me anything, put forward any ideas, but that would be great. All right, so yeah, just having a look at the moment on one of my other gadgets, and we're going to tell you what right, content. I can't remember. All right. Schedule. Apply. I love tech. Okay, yeah. So yeah, okay. Oh, I'm running scarcely low on content. I've got about 2 weeks, so I've got some uploading to do on other bits that I've done. Right. Yeah. Oops. So first and foremost, the content that's coming up this Wednesday will be the bomber, the B-17 crash that happened on just off the coast of Canby back in 1944. Now I actually hit that one on the 78th anniversary. bear in mind I went there a couple of years ago looking for the Canvey Viking Ghost, and I got that instead. That was on my second visit. So yeah, it was oops, excuse me, 2 6. Go away, Google. All right, let's do that. That's better. Right. Hopefully kept things a bit quiet. Yeah, as I say, this week's content, well, the next couple of weeks will be the Canvey bomber, the B-17 that crashed. So this week will be the story of what happened, and then the following week is the paranormal investigation, and there's a bit of obviously bonus content as well, including Ricky, and his whimsies, should we say? Yeah, so that's coming up. I may well visit it again, and what I also want to do, I'll just excuse me. Oh. Right. Can I just do that? Is that going to work? Let's hope so. Right, hopefully no more interruptions. Yeah, with that bomber crash, there was actually 2 that came down at the time, and whilst I've done the Canvey side, the bomber that hit Heavenly Body actually came down off of All Hallows, which is the other side near Grange. So if I get in, I've got to go over to Kent tomorrow night, and I'm going to get and talk to someone who's going to give me some more information regarding Darren Nichols. And if I get enough time, I maybe visit All Hallows and see the site of where the second bomber come down. Just briefly what actually happened. I'll go into it in full detail on Wednesday night. But the Heavenly Body 2 and another bomber were flying back from France. I can't remember the site that they bombed. They were hitting V2 launch sites. I remember off the top of my head. And as they flew back over, the other bomber, not Heavenly Body, was in a bit of trouble. I think he got hit by some anti-aircraft fire, and it sort of come down and it actually hit the top of Heavenly Body, and obviously both lost control, and Heavenly Body ended up crashing just off of Canvey, and the other bomber come down just off All Hallows. And whereas with Heavenly Body, both had 9 crew, but the Heavenly Body lost 3 crew members, 6 survived. The other bomber, only 1 crew member survived that one. So I'm going to take a visit over there and see if I can pick anything up from that bomb crash. So, but it's all in the pipeline. At the moment, as I say, I'm actually going on holiday next week. Not been away since before COVID, so it's good 2 years. So 2019 was the last time I went off. That time I went to York, as with 2017. And that time I visited Thirsk, Goathland. Thirsk is where the home of James Herriot is, the pen name of the vet that wrote All Creatures Great and Small. Goathland was where Heartbeat was filmed, and that train station was used for the first Harry Potter film. And I've actually been on that train line. There's an old video on here, I think, on my channel somewhere, of me travelling that line. And some experience of Whitby that day was about 10 minutes, because I visited Thirsk and then I went to Goathland, got the train, but it was like the last run, and I got down to Whitby and I had enough time to stick my head out the station door, go, okay, that's Whitby, and then the train was going back again. So this time I want to go back more. But whereas that time I wasn't doing the paranormal stuff, it was just a sort of tourist sightseeing thing. This time, yeah, I actually want to do that, because you've got the Abbey, St Mary's, which was reportedly the sites where Bram Stoker got his some of his inspiration for Dracula. So that'd be a great site to cover. And as I understand it, Ed and Lorraine Warren, who are the OG paranormal investigators. They visit that site, and Ed said he come across um, some potentially dark energies there. So we'll see what's about. And also, funny enough, Whitby is also the home to two goth events during the year. Now, unfortunately or unfortunately, depending on which way you look at it, the time when I'm going, that won't be on. I think the first one in the year is around March, and then the second one is around October, Halloween time. So I will actually be missing that, but I'm sure there'll be enough in that up there to get some good content. And also, I'll be staying in Scarborough for a couple of nights. I've just got to book it up, which I'll do tomorrow. As I say, two potentially haunted hotels. Well, I've read two things on TripAdvisor which says there's paranormal activity in there. So, or they've experienced things. So I'll see if I can get the same responses. I mean, furthermore, my visits to York, on that second visit, I also went to Holmfirth, which was where much of Last of Summer Wine was filmed. That's where Nora Batty's house was. Compo lived underneath. Plus, you have Sid's Caff, which is still there. It's actually a great place to eat. Prices are very reasonable. You get proper mug Yorkshire tea in there, which is great. And there's loads of memorabilia. Where Norval Batty did live, it's now a tea room called Norval Batty's Wrinkly Stockings. And underneath where Compo lived, it's like a museum for Last of Summer Wine, and there's the complete timeline in there, all the list of all the characters, props, wardrobe, there's a gift shop in there. It was just a great place to visit. I don't think I'm going to have the time again to do that this time. I'll see how it pans out, because the way I'm going to work it, I'm going to stop at two different hotels, Scarborough, and then what I'm going to look at with Whitby is probably booking up one B&B for 2 nights, and see what Whitby has to offer. And I will be going up on my new bike, the Africa Twin, that I will be using. So we're going to see how that fares as a tourer, which the one I've got, the Adventure Sport, that's its. The Adventure Sport was a more touring orientated version of the Africa Twin. So we'll see. We're going to see how well that fares. This 260 mile, I think I'll be doing, which should be about 1.5 tank. Oh, hang on. What did I say? 260, didn't I? It should do it on 1 tank of fuel. The Africa Twin Adventure Sport has a 24-litre tank. It's huge. And the reports say it can do up to 300 miles on that tank. So we're going to find out. And we'll see how much better it is at touring than what my Triumph was, because the last 2 times I went up that neck of the woods, I've used the Triumph, and my Triumph was fine. The only downside of the Triumph is the seat is a little bit on the hard side after a while. So the Triumph is a comfortable riding position, don't get me wrong, but the seat could probably have a bit more cushion. I don't know. I've got to get the seat recovered over the winter because it started cracking. So what I'm going to look at doing is having a jelly insert fitted. So if I want to take that for a run again, it should be more comfortable. But certainly looking forward to using the Africa Twin. I've got you've seen the pictures and the little video I did when I first got it. It's got all the full luggage. I've just got my luggage bags, so that should be nice. And the ease of use of it would probably be a lot better, because when I used to Triumph, it was a case of a set of 5 panniers and a backpack, which is fine, easy to tour with, but this is more dedicated. So yeah, well looking forward to it. As I say, not had a break for yeah, getting on 3 years, and that's going to be really good. I just hope the weather holds out because we've got rain this week, and I looked at what I can for the following week, and my run up there on Saturday should be dry. Just says some clouds, so that'd be good. But Monday and Sunday and Monday, I think, or Sunday and Tuesday, just saying that there's going to be a bit of rain, so just got to keep an eye on that. But hopefully, the places I'm going to be visiting won't be far from the hotels and stuff I'll be staying in. And yeah, just really looking forward. I just hope I can get me it stays dry long enough for me to get me drone up, and I can take some nice aerial shots of the Abbey and St Mary's Church and so on, and whatever else I find. And of course, Whitby celebrated fish and chips. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, that's where we're going. Moving forward, content wise, as I said at the start of this, there's more Rettendon stuff to be doing, and I'm going to be concentrating on Darren Nichols. So, as I say, I'm going to get a lot of information tomorrow from a very reputable source. And as I say, once I've got back and I've got the time to sit down and go through it, and then I can piece together my next bit of content regarding Rettendon. At the moment, my mind is sort of doing a similar timeline, a similar route to, or similar footage, I should say, to when I've done the route of Billy Jasper. It will be in a similar vein to that, but it will be from Darren Nichols, from the story we got from Darren, and we're going to see, from what he said, to how it fits or doesn't fit with the timeline. So whether he got to a certain place at the time he said he did, and so on and so forth. So we're that's what we're going to do, and then going to look at doing the psychology of Darren. I think I said it earlier. I'm really sorry, my short-term memories can be a little bit skewed with at times. And just pull together all the information we got and everyone's dealings that we know of with Darren, and we can see what his mindset was like. And yeah, past that, not too sure because of my areas of concentration with the Rettendon. Obviously, everyone wants to know I pulled the trigger. I believe I've got that during the paranormal things, which did look at Darren as pulling the trigger. Obviously, the Mr. D things up as well. So the way I see it is that the shooter boils down to two people, unless the two people is the one person, but it's Mr. D and Mr. Nichols. They're the two most likely suspects. And trouble is, without getting hands on physical evidence, you're sort of stuck there. But I'd really like Nichols to be pulled back in, because it was for the crap in non-certain terms. Yeah, past that, as I say, Rettendon wise, possibly one more paranormal investigation, and then I feel like there's probably a line to be drawn under that. I mean, there's only so many things you can do. There's so many things you can go over time and again. As I've stated from the start with that, my interest was that to sort of look at where the real attention should be, as opposed to the scapegoats, which were Mickey and Jack, and who was there that night. It's a very big hole. It's a very big rabbit hole. Once you go down, all sorts of other names start coming in, and it's like, where do you stop? This thing's never ending. My interest is literally trying to piece together that gap between 7 o'clock in the evening, when I was allegedly shot, to, well, say midnight, when Jasper turned up with Mr. D. Because, I mean, after that, you may be looking. I've heard one or two reports about some of the policemen. Someone might be turning up at 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe to do a clean up. I don't know. And then obviously Jiggins and Theobald discover them when they turned up in the morning. Yeah, as I say, there's that gap between 7 and midnight, where we can all speculate and put together our own theories what happened there. Part of that the process I did under paranormal was try and piece together that section, because it's again it is a mystery. The other people that's involved, allegedly involved, who ordered the shoot, go-betweens, the organisation. There's probably for other channels to discuss. I literally just want to know that, what happened there, when it happened, and who. That immediate section, that immediate scenario. All the rest of it is, is always open to discussion. In fact, my stuff's open to discussion. Waffling again. Sorry, it's been a quite a busy weekend. Obviously back out on Saturday night doing a bit of DJing for my old neighbour. It was her 30th and her dad's 60th. I thank the gods that the place that they had it in had aircon, because it was really hot Saturday. I don't mind admitting I sweated a bit getting my gear in, and setting up weren't so much of a problem because it was nice and cool in there. But I must say I love my job. Sometimes when it's baking hot and you've got to cart speakers in and all the rest of it, it can knock a little bit out of you. And it was a local job as well. Sunday, I actually went over to a place called Purdy's Industrial Estate in Rochford. Excuse me. Talking of getting warm. Unfortunately, I live in an old sort of Victorian Edwardian era house, or it's converted flats now, but it still has what I think are the original windows, and they're the little slatted things, it's got a lever and it opens the slats up. They're absolutely crap. They're the worst things ever. They let no ventilation in when it's warm like this, and winter time it just blows a gale through them. So whoever invented them needs would need quiet words. So it's a bit warm in here. As I was saying, Sunday I popped over to a place called Pass Bike, which deals with bike training. There used to be a bike shop in Southend itself called John Parker's. It's a very old school shop. Unfortunately, John passed away some years ago. His son Stephen took over, and now he's actually retired. So John Parker's sort of lock, stock and barrel has now moved over to where Pass Bike is. So they had a little open day on Sunday. They was doing some discounted gear and that, so I thought it'd be worthwhile going. What I did forget was there was having a dyno, and I actually went on my Honda, but I sort of wish I'd taken the Triumph now and just see what power that's putting out after 30 odd years on the road. So but anyway, probably next year now, because I spoke to the guys that run the dyno, and I think they said they've got one more event this year, which would be because it's a trailer, so it's out in the open. Up in, I think it's in Norwich, up that way. I'm not going to ride the Triumph up there just to get a dyno. So I'll leave that to next year. But yeah, it's good though. I bumped into a couple of guys from my bike club, and ended up buying some new boots, new chain lock. I think my boots were at 20 quid knocked off. My chain was 10 and knocked off as well. But it's nice and long, very thick, just a thing for just locking the two bikes together in the garage when I'm not here. And yeah, so £120 worse off. That's the downside of bikes, is getting the gear. You know, when you buy a car, it's you literally just buy the car, that's it. When you start riding, obviously you've got the gear to take into consideration, security. You know, it's not just when you put your bikes away at night, you know, but when you're out on the road and when you park up, again, security is another, you know, another factor to enter in. And then there's the other bits like, at the moment, I bought a little wireless phone charger to clamp onto the Africa Twin. I've actually got one for the Triumph. I've done that as well. You know, all these little bits you kind of take for granted with a car. You have to think about with the bike. God, my throat's getting really dry tonight. So yeah, hopefully now I've got my new set of boots. I'm ready to go next week. Yeah, as I said, I'm throwing it out to the floor. So if anyone's got any questions or you know, thoughts, ideas, suggestions, I'm going to put this up, and you can, you know, just share your thoughts with me, you know, and any ideas and whatever. So yeah, we're going to let it run a little bit because you know, we have throat. Oh dear. Also, did I mention it last month? I think I'm sure I mentioned it last Monday. Went to a couple of psychic events the week before, and hopefully I've got another medium will be coming to join me on the investigations as well. Once I get back off my holiday, it's something else to concentrate on. Just getting that, yeah, just it's something else to concentrate on, but I won't do it until I come back, because I can sit down and then do it at a leisurely pace rather than this week when I've got so many other things to deal with, try and sort of rush it all through, because I've got a list of sites still on my computer that I want to visit, but I'd like to take down people who can maybe pick up on things that I might not. So that's all in the pipeline. I'll discuss that near the future as well. I mean, again, I've got to put my fan on. I don't know it's going to interfere too much. That's pretty quiet. I mean, again, if anyone has a site they'd like me to take a look at, obviously, you know, I'm based in Southend, so anything within reason, so Essex, Kent, London, you know, Surrey, you know, those immediate areas, Hertfordshire as well. London is now open. Yeah, I'd say sites in London are now viable because I've got my Honda. As I might have explained before, a bit of an issue why I don't do stuff in London was due to the ULEZ charges mainly. The congestion charge isn't really an issue now since they've dropped, since Sadiq Khan has very kindly reduced the hours. But ULEZ is still an issue um, for both Saabs, obviously, and the Triumph as it stands. If I can get round to it, I might be able to get the Triumph exempted, but it's having 5 minutes to take it to a garage in London to get the emissions done, because they base it on your nitrous oxide emissions, the ULEZ, and I think it's no greater than 0.2% of your emissions, and a lot of bikes fall below that, including older bikes. So at some point, when I've got 150 quid to spare, because that's how much the emissions test costs, I'd like to take it down to the garage and get the Thunderbird tested, just for prosperity, really. But the Africa Twin is very definitely ULEZ compliant because she's only 4 years old, and the ULEZ compliance of motorcycles, I think it's 2007 or newer, so I'm clear for that. So say, there's sites in London I can visit. I've got one in mind at the moment in Walthamstow. Funny enough, it's just up the road from Epping Forest, which is another place I'm going to go back to. Who that? Or is that on something? Right. Yeah, as I say, I want to go to Walthamstow. That's where my mum comes from. God rest her soul. And it's up the road from Epping Forest. Now, I've read somewhere there's a church up there which has some sort of ghost story behind it, and it's also linked to Dick Turpin. Something I might do actually, possibly on my last day, I might have a cheeky little ride down to York and visit the dungeons again, because you've got the castle, yes, the castle dungeon or something, which I visited last time I was there, and that was where Dick Turpin ended up, where they gave him the rope, and obviously at that time I wasn't doing all the paranormal stuff, so that wasn't really an option. But now I'm thinking I could go back and have a cheeky little dig around and see if anything comes through on the old. I'll probably just run a Necrophonic or something, and see if we can get any bits come through. It's always worth a go. Always worth a go. The handy thing, like anyone else out there that's is like a budding paranormal investigator, is obviously with this tech we can do a lot of things now that you couldn't have done 10, 15 years ago. Like the communications apps. As you've seen me use time and again, and you will see it in good effect on the second part to the Canvey Bomber, and you will see how well. Again, I know I repeat myself so much at times. A crew I've been out with reckon they debunked the Ghost Tube app, but I've got yet another bit of evidence on the part 2 which shows how well it can work sometimes, and this one was very profound, but you'll see that in a couple of weeks. But as I say, if we go to these places where there's a lot of history, as I say, if I go to the castle dungeon, I can have a cheeky little walk around with just the app on. Oh my gosh, does it? We've visited places like the human bio thing that he did, and where there's an old boat as well, and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe give me a chance if I'm walking around a dungeon to have the old app on and see if I'll get any communications through. As I say, we can all do that. If you fancy it. I know a couple of people that use the apps now just to see, what sort of things come through. I know a couple of people that have had relevant bits and pieces come through to them. It's down to you individuals. And well, yeah. There we go. I don't know if there's anything else I can waffle on about at the moment. Um, as I say, I've just got my head in the clouds about my holiday next week because I'm so looking forward to it. Um, just getting on my new bike, using it for what it's intended for. Well, part of it anyway, because obviously you've got the adventure side of it, which I'm probably not really going to do too much at this moment in time. The plan is when I come back, there's not a lot of life left in the tyres, but there'll be enough to do my holiday. And when I come back, I can get some new tyres fitted. And also, when I come back, I'm going to do some more work on the Saab convertible. Done a couple of little bits to it, not a lot, as I say, I've not really had a lot of time, but hopefully I can crack on with that. Yeah, again, if anyone's got any questions, I'll give you I'll give you like sort of 10 minutes, and if anyone want to put stuff through to me, um, yeah, here's a chance. But you'll probably also get a few little mini vlogs come up when I'm away next week. And just say I'm visiting XYZ place today, and what have you. We'll just see what happens there, really. Um, yeah, and also if anyone can let me know how the audio and visual quality of this is, because I'm finally using my new tablet to do what I intended, or partly. So yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I haven't really bought any. I haven't really got any bought any new things for paranormal investigations as yet. I've got one or two ideas for maybe more trigger objects. Um, because I bought a couple of toys, but they were somewhat smaller than I'd intended. So maybe what I'm going to do is look at the things I've bought and see if I can scale up. I bought like a little fire truck and a little horse and carriage, old lead toys. Or one I think the horse and carriage, the carriage and thing is an old lead toy. Obviously, I'm not going to lick it or anything because the reason we phased out lead toys was because of lead poisoning. But you know what I mean. Yeah, got 37 minutes I've been on here. I can really chat some crap. Oh dear. Actually, what I'm going to do, give us a minute. I'm just going to get me new bits. Oh, ah. Oh, oh dear. Right, back again. So yeah, first and foremost, new boots. They're yeah, they look like well, you see like trainers, but they're very tough material. Yeah, 100 quid. They knocked off 20 quid for the day, so I got them for 79.99. They fit really nice. They're very comfortable. I've got like the normal bike boots, which are obviously bigger. Which are great for longer runs, but those sort of things are if you find yourself, doing short treks or whatever, you're going to be doing a lot of walking, as we do when we go to bike shows. Um, those things are just generally more comfortable. And the old ones I've got, which I will show you, are a bit past there. There you go, that's one of my old ones, but you can see how worn it is. And the old sole's coming away, and so I thought it's about time I bought some new ones, so I did. Yeah, the other thing was, oh, God, this thing weighs. one of them, and you can see, yeah, down to £40. But thing is, when you've got, you know, I've got 2 bikes in the garage. The garage is double locked. But my Triumph was £3,000, the Honda was 7.5. I've got 10 grand's worth of bike there. You know, what price security? I know people are going to, those that are really that professional will always find ways around, you know, stealing bikes, but you know, to stop 99% of them. Hang on a minute. Okay. Okay. I'm just checking me. Oh God, another draw. Liverpool and Crystal Palace have just drawn. Yeah, okay. Don't waste your dosh on a post, Jerry Clark's. New. Sorry, I'm just checking through. Welcome to. Why have you just flashed that up for all this time? Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your. Yeah, I know. Yeah, as I say, I'm running off my tablet at the moment. So again, this is another device I've yet to. I've sort of got to get used to, and what situations are going to use the tablet in. And at the moment, for doing, it's perfect for doing the live vlog because I've got a nice large screen to look at for when people do put their comments and questions up. Also, and 2 other reasons I've got the tablet. One, I picked up a keyboard just before COVID with the intentions of just sort of restarting learning keyboards, or rather piano. And 30 years ago, when I was a kid and, you know, learning how to play the keyboards and organs back then, it was, we were somewhat blessed. A friend of ours was very experienced player, and he could teach. And there was also this old Kenny Baker line of books, which were sort of they were self-teaching. Now in the 21st century, you can put an app on your phone or your tablet, and it will guide you through your keyboard, and it listens for you playing and everything. So I initially put the app on my phone, but ultimately I found the screen a bit too small to read. So I thought, well, if you get a tablet, nice large screen, we can do that. But again, it's only 5 minutes to sit down with the keyboard and do it. Also, there's certain situations, hopefully when I get to do more internal ghost hunts and stuff, I can use the tablet for those situations as well, because again, you can have just one app running purely during the evening for communications, and obviously you can use your phones for different bits and pieces. That's one of my ideas anyway. And also with the drone, again, having that large screen now will also be a bonus as well. But yeah, it's all stuff up there. Oh dear. Right, well, I've been on here 3/4 an hour. I'll give it a couple of minutes. So if anyone wants to put a question through, and then I'm going to sign off because I've got to get ready and get my beauty sleep, and I need a lot of it these days. So does anyone have any thoughts, any ideas, questions, anything like that? The other thing I've got to do is make sure everything is fully charged up when I go away. Got my chargers. I might need to buy a couple of memory cards as well, depending on how much recording I do. So that's another consideration. because normally, as you know, when I'm doing my filming, I go to one site for one specific purpose, not really to multiple sites. And I don't really want to take my laptop to upload stuff from the cameras from. So what I'm probably going to do is take order a few SD cards, and we'll do it that way, I think. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. So, any last requests? Right. Okay, folks. Well, I'm going to sign off there. I've just looked at the time. It's 22:22, which is a nice angel number to finish up on. Thanks very much for watching, everybody, and listening to my waffle. I hope it's been of interest, and you found some things to take away from me chatting crap for the last 45 minutes. Thanks again for watching, everybody. As I say, Wednesday, you'll see the first part of the Canvey Bomber, the storyline behind that, and then obviously the following week, we've got the Dirk's Paranormal Investigation with it. You'll get a sort of a little taster on Sunday, basically because the bonus content, which is GhostTube, but Ricky's sort of taken over a little bit as well, so you'll get a bit of both on Sunday. So that's kind of a little precursor to the following week when you'll see the full investigation. All right. So thanks again, everybody. See you Wednesday. Have a wonderful week. Love and light to you all. Good night.